What I'll attempt to do in this conversation is tie your concern for looking good with how you take care of yourself. Your concern for looking a particular way, you as the individual, but certainly out in your relationships with others, and how that inhibits the way in which you take care of yourself. And there's some dire consequences attached to what I'm about to speak about. So there's a particular core motivation that we have as an individual, core motivation. And it's tied to the statement, I have a concern for looking good, which we all do. I have a concern for looking good. And just think about that concept, that statement, and how you like to be viewed and how you don't like to be viewed. And that's the basis of this conversation, and how you position yourself in the world, and specifically in your relationships to others. How you want to be seen, how you don't want to be seen. It's been the consideration that's been driving you in your life. Core motivation. How you motivate yourselves day to day, moment to moment, relationship to relationship, interaction to interaction. And so it goes something like this. Don't see me as, and you get to fill in the blank. Don't see me as, and there's some examples on the board. Selfish, intimidating, uninteresting, boring. And I have a question for you around this. How do you not want to be seen? And there's a long list of how you don't want to be seen. But there's a few up at the top that deeply concern you and move you in various different ways. And it would be worthwhile you identifying what those are. For me, it's a disappointment. I don't want to be seen as a disappointment. It's a haunting experience that drives me. That is for sure. Makes many decisions for me. How I don't want to be seen as a disappointment, because somebody feeling disappointed in me does not feel good. And I know that experience very well. And so it drives me in a particular way if I'm not careful. So don't see me as that. You fill in the blank. Instead, see me as, well, it's going to be the opposite. Don't see me as selfish. See me as generous. I'm so generous. I'm not selfish. Don't see me as intimidating or the bad guy. I'm friendly. Look at this smile in my soft, delicate face. I'm so friendly. Don't see me as uninteresting. See me as interesting. I'm super interesting. And let me share with you all the reasons why I'm so interesting. And so you could say how you don't want to be seen is something you know well because of an experience you had in the past that you do not want to relive. And you could say it's a pain event, something that happened that did not feel good to you, that you're now protecting yourself from, that you do not want to experience again. Pain event. That experience represents pain. I don't want to experience pain, so I have to be something other than that. Protection. So see me as this. I always have to be interesting. I always have to be generous. I always have to be something other than that. I'll prove to you how generous, friendly, interesting, healthy, how good I am by always buying. I'm so generous. Every time we're together, I'll buy the coffee. I'll buy the bus ticket. I'll buy whatever I need to do when we're together to prove that I'm so generous. And you can never see me as anything other than that. You'll never see me as selfish. Here's a muffin. Here's a compliment. Whatever it may be. I'm so generous and I'll prove it to you. Let me do whatever you need to do, whatever I need to do for you to prove that I am so friendly. I'll take you places. I'll introduce you to people. I'll pet you, spoon you, whatever you, to show you that I am so friendly, and you'll have no evidence otherwise. I'm so interesting. Let me prove to you that I'm not uninteresting. I'm so interesting. Let me tell you the next great tale that I have, or the next random fact that I have that makes me so interesting. The next great adventure I'm going on because I'm so interesting. And that's how I want to be seen, so best you see me this way. You can never see me any other way. Because if you do, you won't like the results. Maybe I'll have to punish you to make sure that you never see me that way. Maybe I have to insult you, freeze you out, stop texting you and calling you. Just to punish you a bit to make sure that you never see me this way. Only see me how I want to be seen. And if you don't, I'll cut you out of my life. We can do that. You have done that, for sure. How do you know? Because you do it to yourself. And so the things in which we do to ourselves, focused on self, we do in our relationships. Certainly we do. It can't be any other way. And so this great effort we push out into the world in our relationships is very interesting. It's a core motivation. See me as this, never as that. Social judgment is a striking experience that we do not like at all. It's something that haunts us in the middle of the night. To have a bunch of eyes on us, and eyes that see us in ways we don't want to be seen. And so we make a great effort to be seen in a good light, as acceptable and likable. A tremendous effort, core motivation. I'll do whatever I need to do. Now just to keep up with this. Now I just have to keep up with this. I built these relationships and they can only see me in this way. Now I have to keep up with it, even if I don't want to. Even if I'm feeling uninteresting right now, I have to show myself that I'm interesting and show others that I am interesting. If I don't want to be seen as weak, I always have to be strong. I can never be seen as weak. Even if I'm feeling weak, I have to be strong. And so we build ourselves into this corner. And we always have to present. And it strips us from being real and vulnerable. And in pretense in various different ways. I can never be how I feel because people won't like me. They know me as the one that is interesting, the one that is generous, the one that is. And what happens if I'm not this? It's a tremendous amount of effort we put into this entire practice until there's not much left of us. And we have to make some difficult decisions. And often the decision is, well, I have to fake it till I make it, or I have to hide in my home or in my office or in the closet so people don't see me this way. And so we can pull ourselves out of relationships. And what ends up happening is just keep up if you can. That's the conversation we start having with the self, certainly the body. You have to maintain this posture everywhere you go, no matter what. And so it goes something like this, which is up on another board. You can rest later, be nourished later, hydrate later, be cared for later. Whatever you need must be later. Self, body, you. This is the primary focus. This is our primary focus, and it has to be that. You, whatever you need, can wait. And that's where the consequences get heavy very quickly. Because we push off our personal needs consistently and constantly until there's not much left.